2.22 for Adrian, and the selection for Mark. Liverpool on both teams to score 3.0. We'll lock that one in. The podcast bet, just a bigger price there. Seems you do think Tottenham will eventually score, perhaps in a 2 or 3-1 defeat. We'll move on to Monday Night Football and more agreement with the guys, so won't give too much away, but this is just a massive game, and particularly given the title race is pretty much gone, the relegation battle should pick up over the next few weeks. Leicester City 2.12, Everton available at 3.65. The draw is 3.5. The Asian handicap line sees Everton get a quarter of a goal start at 1.98. Both teams to score yes is available at 1.84, and the goal line is available in this game at 2.5. So Adrian, sticking with you on this one. Look, Leicester City, I watched the Leeds game. Look, it was a massive goal Jamie Vardy got them back in the game. But saying all that, if Bamford scores the winner, Leicester are even under more pressure. So what you're thinking here with your selection?
Well, I thought Leicester were good in the game, actually. I think certainly the second half. And yeah, Bamford missed the sitter, but Tielemans' goal, it was a brilliant goal, wasn't it? I mean, I don't really like to see goals disallowed for things like that. So they might count themselves quite unlucky that they didn't get the 3 points as well. I think I have been impressed by them under Dean Smith, Leicester City. They've been a bit more spirited going forward, that is for sure. If you look at the XG across all three of their games, against Man City, against Wolves, and against Leeds, it's over 2 in all of those games. So they really have played with a bit more adventure. I think he's gone with sort of one less central midfielder, hasn't he, Dean Smith, and gone with an extra attacking midfielder in there, and it's kind of made a difference. Little bit more front foot. So that's good from them. Vardy's obviously ended his little drought there with quite a large drought with a key goal, and with Iheanacho out, that was a shame for him. I think this could be Vardy's time to shine. They did beat Everton 2-0 at Goodison Park earlier on in the season. They've got a pretty good record, actually, in this wretched season for Leicester against the bottom 8. They've won 6 of 12 against their immediate rivals, and they scored in 9 of those 12 games. And I think given their improvement going forward, that they will score against Everton. What about Everton? The away record just can't fill you with any confidence if you're a Toffees fan. 1 win from 16. Really bad. Scored 10 away goals in the entire season. So you think if Leicester can score, what have Everton got in their locker? I would be nervous if I were a Leicester fan at corners and wide free kicks. Dyche will get them bang up for that. We know that's a long-standing fragility for Leicester. So I think they've got a chance from scoring from those, but in general play, they haven't offered up a lot, have they? On the road, especially this season. The context of the game for Everton's interesting. Their fixtures are tough, in my opinion. I look at the games they got coming up. This isn't the order, but they've got Newcastle at home and City at home, hard. Brighton away, hard. Wolves away, that's pretty hard. And they've got Bournemouth at home, which you'd expect them to win. But I think Bournemouth have got a really good record at Goodison. So I think there's a really tricky run in for Everton, which means they might go for it a bit more than you'd expect here in this 6-pointer. They might see this as a must-win in their own eyes, which might make it a better game than anticipated. But worryingly for Everton, it might open up more gaps for Leicester. Harvey Barnes, Tete, Vardy, Maddison in particular to exploit. I fancy Leicester. I fancy Leicester to win the game. And at odds against, even though they haven't won a lot this season, I think this is a game they can win.
Yeah, Mark, any points to pick up on them? Because you are on the same bet, Leicester, in the 19-minute market.
No, I've pretty much got all the same.
I could see you laughing, and I was like, I think he's laughing because Adrian's taking all his notes here.
No, the same sort of theory as well, kind of about Everton and a tough run in and how that might change their mindset. Because not ordinarily you'd expect Everton and Dyche to come here and probably play for a point, but because of the way the fixtures lie, perhaps they'll have to come here and attempt to play, and that will create more opportunities for Leicester to in a more open game. So fascinated to see how they do set up at the King Power. Same as well with Leicester. Mildly impressed so far with their performances. They had 8 shots on target against Wolves a week ago. I thought they had the better of the game against Leeds. I know Leeds had a couple of golden opportunities, but I think that's always the case with Leicester. They're the only team now in Europe's top 5 leagues not to keep a clean sheet since the World Cup, which is 18 games and counting. Quite embarrassing, really. But the beauty of Leicester is they do have that ability in the final third, with Maddison and Barnes back in the team in midweek. Vardy looked really sharp off the bench. Tete had a good game last weekend. Daka, Soumare's come back into the fold and performed really well in central midfield. We've not seen Everton against Newcastle on Thursday, but they've been quite inconsistent under Dyche. They've not really kicked on since that Arsenal win. Largely reliant on Goodison Park, as we always know. It's just 3 points from 18 under Dyche away. They've conceded twice or more in 5 of those 6. I think a lot will be pinned on Calvert-Lewin's fitness. He played last weekend, his first start since early January. He's only made 10 starts all season, and McNeil and Damari Gray have the top scorers of 4 each. So Dyche will be craving to have him back to lead the line. We saw how effective Chris Wood was with Burnley in those days. So, yeah, I mean, just going back to the style and the approach, Dyche did try to sort of smother Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park last weekend and got the reward for it with a desperate 0-0. Almost nothing happened in that match. So I just don't think he can do that because of the way in which the Premier League table is sitting right now. Even Nottingham Forest picking up 3 points in midweek. And, I think teams down there have to start trying to win matches rather than just relying on points here and there, because it is so competitive. And yeah, those fixtures do not look pretty. So I'm hopeful that Everton come out to try and play in this match, and that should, in theory, give Leicester a bigger chance of picking up the points. So I thought odds against was fair enough considering all we've discussed.
Okay, yeah, Leicester City 2.2 currently available, or 2.16 currently available on matchbook.com for Leicester to win in the 90-minute market. Definitely one maybe to check out on Matchbook Zero. Remember, Zero markets are available 48 football markets are available 48 hours before the event, so check that out. Around Saturday night, Sunday, you should see the best price out there on the market. We'll move on to a big game.